All right, everybody, if you've been following along, we're back on the 783 satellite. We got our front done. We need to address the rear window, which is still in the car. We started sanding the roof. We're about almost a third of the way, but not really. We're like a quarter of the way. We want to get clean metal, more hammering and dollying. You know, this did have a vinyl top, but we're not going to go with vinyl. Or actually, I haven't made up my mind yet, but I do want to get the surface as close as I can to being perfect. Body filler will obviously help in that situation. So I tried taking the rear window out with weed whacker string, believe it or not. We don't have guitar string. We don't have piano wire. I don't have anything like that. So I plan on just taking my plumbing torch. It's just a bottle of acetylene. It's actually right here next to me. I'm going to take this little guy and I'm going to heat up my knife, which is right here. Take a 2-inch putty knife, heat it on it, jam it in there, remove, break the seal from the adhesive to the rear window, and slowly just poke at it until we can get that window out. Okay, so from about, I want to say here to like up into this area right here is loose. So we got all this loose. And I'm just going to keep carving this adhesive out of here as much as I can from it, both outside and inside. Whew. Okay, now that we got our back glass out, I'm going to go ahead, scrape the remaining adhesive out, and then sandblast our channel just to see what we're working with here. Okay, we sandblasted our channel all the way down, all the way around. Come back. Look at all that filler or whatever it is they use. There's gobs of it just everywhere. Feels good to be getting all that stuff out of here. Alright, we got our patch in. There's a few areas that could be better. And tomorrow we will go ahead and cut this out. I'm not sure how far I'm going yet or none of that. We still have some good metal left. We got metal over here. So I'm gonna go in, shower up, and eat, and lay my head down. It's a good day. That was actually a pretty hard piece to get in. I'm sure this one's not gonna be any easier, but see you tomorrow. so this was our first piece we cut out. Because I don't have 18 gauge steel offhand, this is actually all I have left of 18 gauge, and it just wasn't, it's not going to cut it. So we have remaining floor pieces we cut out, and some of this, some of this I can use from like here over, maybe not this area here, unless I shrink that, test out my shrinker and my stretcher on that, see what I can do. But we're gonna go ahead and cut this out. We might get another piece out of that. Not sure yet. I'm definitely going to want to clean on this and flatten it. Okay, we got our piece cleaned up. Pretty nice. Not too much pitting, actually. This is definitely going to work. Alright, so we flattened out the piece we cut out. I marked at the bottom. I did a rough mark, with this, but we're going to go measure that bend real quick. Just to make sure. I want to say it's 3/4, but I may be wrong. Yeah, it is 3/4 actually. Alright. So, let's see what I got here. Almost an inch. We'll mark it and then put it in the vise. Oof. That'd be just like a rough bend. Let's see. I guess we can put it about right there. It's not gonna be perfect. Yep. See. Alright, just by looking at this, I'm gonna say we bent a little too far, so oh yeah. Okay, our piece is starting to flow pretty nice. We're tight all the way along here. There's a little bit of a bend I still gotta put right here. But because we have to still fill this with lead, I'm okay with lap welding it. I'm gonna lap weld this end here, and whenever we go to fill our lead in, it's gonna hide it. Overall, I think we are. I think we're there, actually. There, we might want to do a little bit more shrinking in the center to bring that out. So let me go do that. Not sure how this is gonna line up. So when we press down, once we start getting it welded, I'll manipulate it with a screwdriver. We're gonna call that good for now. I want to get our the back piece in first. I bought 3/4 inch, 1/8 inch flat stock, just like we used for the front. Alright, so we got our piece roughly bent both ways. Like the front, we will pick a side to start on and start spot welding this thing in and just manipulating it along the way. I'm pretty confident that this will go just as good as the front did. Alright, we're about to buzz this in. Got it clamped, got our ground on, machine's running. We're going to use our magnet. Of course, my other glove's over there. Alright, let's burn through this. Hopefully not. We'll see. Oh, I gotta make sure the grind is turned off. I was using, oh yeah, and it was on. Would have fried me eyeballs. Don't want to do that. So, This piece came from right there, obviously. We went to the scrapyard to get some steel, and I got lucky. And I found this, whatever this is. We got my piece marked out. I'm gonna cut it out. I gotta straighten out this edge, beat the snot out of it, and start forming it, and I will be back. It's 3 million degrees. Guy's still working on the last patch for the rear roof. We got the window channel all done. What's up? What are you doing?
I snapped my fingers off.
You snapped your finger off?
Mm-hmm.
You gonna keep washing your bike?
See? You see that?
Oh no.
That's
Go wash your bike. I seen it.
That's the blood in the crowd. That's all.
Yeah, you can't play with that. Go wash your bike.
Okay.
Dang it. Already forgot. What were we talking about? Oh yeah. So the roof panel. This is what we cut off of the car. Obviously, there's like barely anything left of it. There was enough to make a template, which was I literally just taped. I taped the whole panel, and then when I cut the tape, I left a 1/16, pretty much the thickness of the cutoff wheel. That way, it actually fits pretty good. It worked out pretty good, actually. And then, I drew my line where I was bending, peeled it, transferred it to my steel. By the way, I went to the scrapyard and I picked up like a giant plenum or whatever it is. I don't even know what it was. This thing right here. Whatever this is, I used that. And it's 18 gauge too. Got lucky. Free. He didn't even charge me. It was free. So that was even better. This is where we're at right now with things. So you can kind of see what I got going on here. They match up pretty good, as they should, because of the way I did it. But right now, we're trying to work on getting a crown right here. We have to go this way a little bit. It's a little too flat in this area. It has an arch down here. This bend, it's kind of like an unnatural bend going on. But I do have a shrink, 18 gauge shrinker set up right here, which I was able to shrink this, and in doing that, it kind of gave me a little bit of a crown, but it's still a little too flat right here. So we have to bring that curve in to about right here. It's just a little too flat. I've been running back to the car, test fitting it, back and forth, hammering, bending, back and forth, back and forth. Got a little tiring, and I took a break for a few days. And of course, I picked the hottest day on earth to continue. But yeah, we're gonna hammer on this, get it a little bit closer. But I think we're at the point to where maybe another 10 minutes of messing around with this thing, and we're gonna buzz it right in with the lightning stick and do exactly what we did to the front. Get this panel in. I'm gonna prime the back portion of the roof with epoxy, and then add my body filler after that. And then when I'm done with that, we can then prime the whole roof of the car. But yeah, let me get over here and get to working on this. Okay, So, we have our last patch in. It looks very good. I have the tinning butter. We have to heat the panel, use Chore Boy with vice grips, and scrub the panel with the tinning butter. And that's going to tin the metal so we can apply our lead and it'll actually stick instead of beading off. And you can see right here, this is all lead right here from the factory. And we just want to continue that. I hope it works out. Okay, so if you guys have been following along, we got a patch here, a patch here. We did the back rail over in here. I haven't body filled this yet because we have to get a stud gun and weld in our trim studs. So I'm not able to do any body work in here yet. I know I painted it, but that can easily be grinded away. Once we get our studs welded in, you know, then I'll be able to come through here and clean this up with some Bondo. Kind of looks a little ugly, even though this is what it looked like from the factory. So we did a thin coat of black paint, and then we did a thin coat of Bondo. I believe I lost the footage of that, but this is our second coat of paint. And we have a few areas that I still want to address. So this body tape right here, we want to keep this edge kind of as sharp as we can. I'm going to put a thin coat of Bondo right here just because it's a little wavy. And when we do that, we want to let it dry and then pull our tape. That way we keep a hard edge. We'll get to that a little bit later, but that's why the tape is there. Got a little low right here. It's not as smooth as I'd like it right here. So I'm gonna whip up some Bondo. We have a pinhole here. I believe that was a small area that I decided not to cut out and patch. I believe our patch ended right here. Our patch is like over here, and this is just beyond it. So we skipped it. No big deal. This Bondo is actually gonna do exactly what we want it for that.